And we are live. And let's get to it. This guy right here, Marcellus Wiley, and right there next to him is who? Stephen A. Smith, who claims to be the brother of all brothers and you can only trust him. He's got all the answers. Mm, mm, mm. Now, this only proves me right. As Marcellus Wiley did not speak about Stephen A. from a general perspective of he's jealous, he wants his position, he don't like him. He spoke facts. Facts. Something that everybody else seems to be ignoring. The facts of the situation. Now, why has this become so much of a problem? Why are so many people offended over the facts? Because they can't handle the truth.
Specific reasons. Now, I'm going to say these reasons. And everybody's going to have a reaction. He wanted Max first because he was white. He wanted Max second because he was intelligent. He wanted Max third because Max can speak on all things.
Former ESPN and Fox Sports host Marcellus Wiley.
Now, that was a fact. You wanted him there because he could speak on these things. But what you wanted was a patsy. Marcellus Wiley is very smart. He's very Wile E. Coyote about it. No, I'm just messing with you. But no, he's very intelligent. They both went to the same school. He doesn't speak without really doing his homework. Now, here's the kicker, people. I have been saying this for 7 years. I don't know. Rain seems to always bring the Spider-Mans out. All right, I'm going to let him live. It's your lucky day, Spider. He was up out of here. But this is what angers people when it comes to these type of thought patterns. Because you see, Marcellus Wiley, he's only stating something that I've stated 7 years ago. 7 whole years. That's a long time. And he spoke on the facts. Max is smarter than you. You always talk about how you was left back in the 3rd grade and the 4th grade for being dumb. You were dumb Donald. They made fun of you and you still have that chip on your shoulder. So when you got Max on the show, you wanted a white guy on the show. But what you didn't want was the white guy to outshine you on the show. So you wanted him to bow down. That's the Max Kellerman you wanted. You wanted a white guy to say a couple lines, fight back, but then go down to your superiority. That's what you wanted. Max wasn't going to give you that. And you were upset because he was outshining you. And you keep talking about the census of the public are saying this. No, the census of the public was saying, why the hell is Stephen A looking more white or sounding more white did Max Kellerman. Because they were believing you was one of the brothers under this facade. They didn't learn from Allen Iverson. They didn't learn from Glenn Dog Robinson. They didn't learn from all these stories that everybody was saying about him. They had to learn the hard way. Now, if you go back to Casino for Life, First Take versus Undisputed. That's like a classic video. Because Undisputed didn't air one episode. And they hadn't even selected really who they were going to run with. Max Kellerman was just on the show a couple of weeks. And it was known. Oh yeah, it hit very hard. Because it was evident everything I said about him was absolutely true. Without a shadow of a doubt, it was true. Everything I said. I mean, I knew it was true when I said it. I wasn't just like crossing my fingers when I said it, like, I hope this is true. No. We knew. Okay. Well, we gonna see. As I told you, 7 years ago, we said the same things. So it's no surprise to me. For 7 years, it's not hating on somebody. I told you before they ever aired an episode. This video was seen by Stephen A. Smith and ESPN. 130,000 people saw this video 7 years ago. The truth behind First Take and Undisputed TV beef. Now, before there was even a show, the show didn't even air yet. They had the promo out with Shannon versus Skip. Joy Taylor was there. They only did this. No show. It hadn't even aired yet. And I was telling everybody, this show is going to beat this show. So 7 years ago, I told you the exact things everybody's mumbling today. So you didn't have all those great debates with Max and Stephen A. really yet. You didn't have that. I told you this isn't going to work. So I'm not boasting and bragging. I'm just stating a fact, a factoid, so that everybody can see and they can hone in on. There's a lot of controversial issues between hosts and athletes. You see them a lot when people come on the show. It's very few that Stephen A. have them when he's face to face with people. He seems to be that lone dart person that talks crap real crazy. Then when you see him in person or talk on the phone, it's different. Now, the Ray Rice issue at that time had Stephen A., he was in the red. See, Mark Stein and the rest of those guys, they had to keep Disney happy. And Stephen A. Smith was on a zero policy because of what had happened with Ray Rice and how he was attacked. And if he had another such incident, they were going to have to reevaluate what they were getting themselves into. So he was up for contract renegotiation at the same time as Skip Bayless. At that time, and Skip ended up leaving. So this was beneficial to Stephen A. He was able to leverage, well, I can leave and go over to Skip and take First Take over to Fox. And that was not, at that time, ESPN did not want to lose that. Then it looked like Fox beat them. Well, as I stated in my video, why Max Kellerman didn't work for ESPN in First Take. And I'm not saying Marcellus Wiley stole something from my video. I'm just saying that great minds think alike. And it's actually factual. You don't have to be me. And like I said, it always takes one person who see things the way you see it, who see it the same way or see it for what it is, because it's actually true. Max is just smarter than Stephen A. Smith. And it's not about the fact that he's smarter, it's the decisions that he made. He puts himself in the right position at all times because he's smart. Yeah, they used to come on 30 minutes before First Take when Undisputed first came out. Oh, thanks for loving the show and what we do here. Appreciate that. Now, here's the news. You're looking at a network battle that turned into an in-house blow-up. Could I see Max Kellerman at Fox? Absolutely. Could I see him thriving at Fox? Absolutely. Could I see him having a big check at Fox? Absolutely. Why is that, you might say? It's because it will be sticking it in the face of ESPN. Mm-hmm. Now, Skip Bayless revealed 7 years ago, right? I mean, well, a couple weeks ago, but I told y'all 7 years ago what happened on that show with him and Richard Sherman. But just a couple weeks ago when they premiered, he told you. Right? Skip said, I'm going to tell you something. We were on probation. And I wanted to go back at him. I told you this 7 years ago.
Sherman incident is one of the incidents, one of the major incidents on the show where Skip felt he couldn't really say anything back to the guest because ESPN wouldn't allow it. And he wanted to go back at Richard Sherman, but ESPN was terrified, and it was a debate about pulling the show, changing the show's format, the aggressive format, like downplay it. So they start calling each other brother, my brother. Like they wanted to cool the jets between Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless. And like, no, they're really friends. You know, they were colleagues, you know, and they understand they're colleagues in this business. And it's very hard to get a columnist in the sport and try to make something work where there's chemistry on the screen. It's kind of hard.
That is true. Now, if you watched that show on the Horn,
You watch Around the Horn, it's very difficult to do. Most columnists are not television-ready people.
they're not.
If you take a look at Woody and Jay Mariotti and all these guys, they're not made for television. You know, these guys they're writers. So their hair is flaky and all over the place. And shit, the collar's all messed up. Why would you wear that jacket on the show? You know, they look none prepared for television.
None prepared for television. Man, I can hear the old fan going too from the PC. Now, oh, yeah, well, see, that's the thing. Marcellus knows what I know. And it's just showing you what he said validated everything that I've stated. But I've said this 7 years ago. So if I said it 7 years ago before it even took flight, and when they were starting to audition, I told people who would be the best suited person for the job. And it wasn't Max Kellerman. I was like, you've already paid Stephen A., so he's not going anywhere. You know, and while they had fun on Around the Horn, Max didn't have to be all tight on that show. He could relax. In ESPN and HBO, he had to be more confined, reserved. But they got to protect the brand. Max Kellerman is safe. Disney could trust him. Right? But this was a guy that was supposed to take the company approach. They didn't know all of these social issues would pop up, and Max would start having an opinion that didn't side with what he looked like. Yeah, a lot of people didn't even know Max Kellerman almost got a job with the UFC. Doing his first gig ever was the biggest fight at that time in HBO boxing history and boxing history was Mayweather and De La Hoya. And Max made a statement that almost got him fired on his first day, correcting Jim Lampley on the show about attacking UFC. He was supposed to back up Jim, not go against Jim. Like I said, things get and they go from good to bad to worse. Mm-hmm. Well, as I stated, and Stephen A. Smith took my video when he said YouTube focus groups. No, you went and found the collection of YouTube videos and run it into the office of the bosses at ESPN and wanted to show them what they were actually saying. And Stephen A. Smith took one of my videos to ESPN and heard my take on why Max Kellerman wasn't a fit. And he was pointing that out to the bosses. Oh, see, he's right. See, I'm not the only one saying it. We don't fit. This guy, look how many subscribers he's got. Look how many views it's got. The people are saying it. Read the comment section. He showed the comment section to my video to ESPN. ESPN had my video. You want to know how I knew that he did that? Because he said it word for word what I had stated on his radio show. He had a radio show and he brought up that there's focal groups. Then I'm going to show you another reason how I knew. In the comment section, ESPN had liked a doggone post that was written supporting Max Kellerman being on the show, which seemed like it was written by somebody that worked from corporate. Max Kellerman's a wonderful, an intelligent human being, and he's taking first take to a. It was you could tell no fan or anybody's gonna write anything like that. Then it was liked by ESPN's YouTube page. You see, the creator of the video can see who liked what when they hit the like button. So when it says ESPN has liked your video or liked a comment in the video, they didn't like the video, they had liked that comment. So they were aware. Now, here it is. 7 years ago, people. Undisputed has not aired one episode, and I want y'all to hear what I'm going to say here.
They called him on the show. Going on in life. Whether you're paying attention to it or not, that's up to you. Now, since they brought in Max Kellerman on the show, going back to the network situation.
7 years ago.
Max Kellerman, remember they had 3 guys. Cain, Jorge Daniel, which is George, and they called him on the show.
George, yeah, Jose Sendeo.
These guys had the credentials to be a replacement for Skip Bayless. All these guys are safe company men, with Cain having the most personality.
Cain.
Max Kellerman is more senior than these guys. He's more seasoned. His face is known. His name is more known. The other guys, they didn't hold water. They had auditions on the show. It didn't work out. Max Kellerman tested better because they've actually worked together before. And, they have good, you can tell they're friends. And they try to start off with something to help Max ease into it, like boxing, Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, and all of these different things, but to ease Max Kellerman into First Take, but it has not been a show of great transition for Max. The chemistry don't mesh, and if you see it, it's obvious. This is not a good fit.
7 years ago.
Now, will he work on it, and will Max, do a little more and be a little more challenging on the show? I don't know, because it's not his character. I've already spoken on this before, so I don't want to beat a dead horse, but we've already spoken. It's his character. It's just not in him to be that type of person. And the show may suffer because of it. I pointed out the obvious from the comment section. People see it like, man, you were right, Carson. You were right, man. You were right. You were right. You were so right. So, with that being said.
Now, that was 7 years ago. Isn't that word for word what Stephen A. Smith has been saying about it? He saw my video, went to my comment section. Ain't no damn focus group. You went to my video on First Take and Undisputed Beef I did 7 years ago, and went to the comment section and called that a focus group. You based it off of what I said in the comment section and what people were saying in there. You were taking comments from 7 years ago. You were the one sharing that. But I said, Cain, who had the most personality of anybody there, Undisputed had not even aired yet. This video was made before Undisputed, not one episode was out. So stop lying to the people, Stephen A. You got it from me. That's where you got it from. It's not going to work with Max. A couple of obvious reasons. First is that Max's number one sport is boxing, and he never calls out Stephen A. Smith for his stupid and uninformed BS. 7 years ago, and I said Will Cain was the most character on the show. I said, well, out of everybody that they were testing, Will Cain was the guy.
Vision out of the years.
Now, why would I say Will Cain? And why did I say Max didn't work? I said Max didn't work because Max did not have a team. Now, what did they just say 13 hours ago? Now, this is 13 hours ago. I want y'all to see that.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, he actually has better ratings than Skip.
But like, I guess what I'm saying is they all fall in this ilk of like, hey, you want a white guy to come counter me, but actually we're the white people who.
Now, they talked about.
With me, the problem is he got the wrong white guy because he wanted someone, I think, in the vein of Skip Bayless, of what's my man that used to.
Nick Wright?
Not Nick Wright. The guy that used to, oh man, now I'm drawing a blank.
Give me something so I can help you.
The guy who said, oh, he's not actually that bad of a guy once you get to know him.
Oh, Will Cain?
Will Cain.
I was wrong. I feel like you set me up on that. You set me up on that.
He led you right to that. The guy that you once said isn't that bad a guy, and you were totally wrong.
I thought twice to just jump in like that in the name of efficiency. I have since apologized numerous times.
I also need to apologize.
Now, the reason why Will Cain worked on the show more than Max is because Will Cain had what Max didn't have for what they were doing. He had passion. Whether it was fake passion or real passion, he was passionate. He was a true conservative white boy who loved the Dallas Cowboys. And he was exactly what you needed, Stephen A. That man, Will Cain, was going to make you the blackest man in America. You would have looked like Malcolm X compared to him. Standing next to him, you would have looked like Malcolm X. But you chose to go in another direction. So what Marcellus Wiley is telling you, I told you back then. And you took my video and ran it into the ESPN offices and said, It was a focus group. You said every word I said in that video 7 years ago, Stephen A. Y'all just heard it. Ain't that what he said about Mac? That's why it didn't work? Every word that I said. Because what people quit, they keep forgetting is that he wanted Max Kellerman till he didn't want Max Kellerman. He wanted him gone 3 years prior. And I kept telling people, I'm like, he don't want Max there no more. He's not trying to make it work. They had this meeting. I think he needs to go do something else. It's not working out. I don't like doing this show with him. Because he's not looking like the hero. Anytime you're not looking like the hero, you're going to lose when it comes to him. He got to look like Alpha Dog. If he ain't looking like Superman Alpha, it ain't going to work. What people had to learn is that there's levels to this. Over the years, he found his new reasons and his true reasons for not saying, oh, Max Kellerman didn't work because our chemistry didn't work. I said that during the first week. Undisputed hadn't even aired. And I told you that. Before there were years. There wasn't years involved yet. And I told you what? This was going to be the results. Yeah, Stephen A. should have auditioned for Dumb Donald and the Fat Albert. Be like, Dumb Donald. He be, I be, don't know what I'm talking about. Now, let's get into this because it needs to be said. There's many people out there in the world whatsoever, and their reaction to things normally dwarfs or check all boxes, moving its own tropes, etc. right? So now you have all these people making decisions for everybody else. You got new bosses coming in and they seeing things a different way. So when the skipper, John Skipper, was in charge, and the skipper was the skipper, he wasn't going to be able to get rid of Max Kellerman. That wasn't going to happen. No matter what he tried, no matter what he said, it wasn't going to be optional. Getting rid of Max Kellerman wasn't going to be nothing he could do. Now, on top of all of this, and you know how hard it is to get rid of somebody you want to get rid of, right? You know how hard it is going to be to try to get rid of somebody who you feel shouldn't be on the team. Do you know that when they first started out and they was watching the show, no one on the network saw a problem? Once I pointed out a problem, they tried to make an adjustment. After he took my video into ESPN offices and they did a test focal group, they decided in their infinite wisdom that it would be best if we were to make some changes. Don't get rid of Max, but we're going to change Max. Max is going to be ready come Monday. And I made a video for that too. Because I pointed out the change in Max. He was a man confused, trying to find out why it wasn't working. I normally disagreed with his assessment in many different aspects of boxing because I felt, well, here's a guy sticking up for the company, blah, 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 right? Max came back that Monday and he just started screaming. And everybody's like, what the hell is going on here? Why is this man screaming? It didn't make any sense. Didn't make any sense to me. Didn't make any sense to anybody who knew better. Max Kellerman came back screaming on the show. I swear for God, Max Kellerman came back screaming. And I said, this isn't it. Because it wasn't it. I said the man did not have passion. Just because you're screaming and saying it loud does not dictate passion. Max does not have a dog in the fight. Max is not somebody who has a team. How are you going to have a debate with somebody and you don't have a team? You don't have a team. Who is your favorite team? Who do you root for? Who are you passionate about? People are more passionate when someone's attacking their team or who they're against. They're passionately against them. You know, Stephen A. Smith portrays that he's passionately against the Dallas Cowboys. Skip Bayless passionately defends the Dallas Cowboys. That's who he rides out with. Whether they right or wrong, he gonna fight them the way to fight for them. That's the passion. Max Kellerman don't have that. So I already knew he didn't fit the format of the show. And I knew that before they even aired an episode. So if I knew these things before that, and then I watched them side by side, and I said, oh, this isn't going to work. And I said it 7 years ago. This before he asked for Max Kellerman to be fired. This is before he did any of it. So when I tell you the theory and all his research, it all came from my video. Remember, Stephen A. Smith is a liar. He is a bona fide liar and misdirection, misspeak. He done been called out on lies for the last 2 months, been getting exposed. I'm the one who seemed to not understand what's going on that they want you to believe. I'm the one that don't get it. And I don't be knowing information. Yet, 5-6 months ago, while in Florida, I was telling you, Stephen A. Smith is facing possible termination at ESPN. And you guys thought I was capping. And I was saying that for clickbait. And I said, no, heads are going to roll. And it came out of his own mouth. And I was like, no, he was saying this on the radio show. And I'm here to tell you, this is real. This is no joke. You see, here's something that most of you who are outside the boxing world don't understand. Max Kellerman, for him to have the position he has, meaning for him to move in the space that he travels in, to still have empathy for Black people and treat them as individuals, treat them fairly. He's not doing it because they're Black and he's trying to big up Black people for cool points. Max grew up around Black people. Max hung out in the hip hop world, knew his hip hop history, used to rap with his brother Sam, a Black man who was a boxer named the Harlem Hammer. That man who got suspended and arrested in a boxing ring for punching a guy after the fight was over and he lost the decision and broke a guy's jaw. And they arrested him in the ring and took him straight to jail. That man took the life of Max Kellerman's brother, broke his neck as they had an argument in the house. They were living in the same house. They let the guy live there, and that guy went crazy and killed Max Kellerman's brother and got sentenced to 29 years in prison. Max Kellerman could have been bitter at Black people and blamed an entire race of Black people for that one man doing what he was doing. but he didn't blame an entire race for what one black man did. He said, when I heard Stephen A. Smith call an uppercut an overhand right, I knew he was done. But he's a boxing enthusiast himself, Stephen A. Smith. He used to attend all the fights that basically Max Kellerman wasn't really calling those fights. He wasn't at HBO yet, but he was calling fights on Max Boxing. You had ESPN. He was over there. Huge Pernell Whitaker fan. And even though we might clash on an opinion or view, or we have different opinions or approach to the views, it was always met with some form of respect. Some level of a respect that was there. I never saw an amount of people who amalgamated and hate so much to where it was affecting judgment. I saw Max Kellerman take an angle of that individual person who did that. That person ain't shit. Who did that to my brother. Hit the like button, good people. But I'm not going to judge an entire race off what one person has done, as no human being should. One person do something and you blame the entire race, you're just as guilty as the person that just did what they did. So 3 months before the hammer came falling down, almost everybody was fired at ESPN. Encino called it 3 months before it happened. Now, let's go back 5 years ago. Yeah, we finna take y'all down to memory lane. Because nobody will ever know, and I'll never get my flowers for being on top of my niche. But here we go. This is what it was looking like, right? Stephen A. was supposed to be BET. Will Cain was Fox News. Max Kellerman was CNN. This is what First Take had turned into. Because they knew Will Cain had to be part of this show. So they used to bring Will Cain on. But Will is like, look, I'm tired of being the part-time host. Because they knew Stephen A., this is years later, after he wanted Max gone. He knew Will Cain was the dance partner then that he should have had. But now Max is there. So now he's like, well, damn, I got to find ways to integrate Will Cain into the show. Because Will Cain makes me look black. Blacker than black. I look like old school BET compared to him. This dude is right-wing conservative. So this is before he went to Fox News. Because that's exactly what he sounded like anyway. And Max sounds like CNN. This is what First Take used to look like. And what did I say? This is what ESPN First Take has become 5 years ago. Five years ago, good people. 5 years ago. Now, once again, you might be asking yourself a question. They wrecked the show for sports fans. Being dominated on his own show. The only person that Max didn't get along with was Stephen A. Trust me, everybody who's feeling sad for Max Kellerman, don't. don't feel sad. Don't feel sad. For Max Kellerman. Trust me, there's other people on that network you should feel sorry for. And Max Kellerman isn't one of them. I mean, did he do anything that should lose his job? No. Oh, yeah. Stephen A. Smith don't like me, and that's cool. He don't have to. Nobody has to like anybody they don't like. But he's the one that put this out, not me. I wake up every morning with two thoughts. One, how do I make my bosses more money? And two, how do I get some of it? This line here indicates exactly who Stephen A. Smith is, and this is where he lies. And why all of his decision making is so jaded and different from other Black people, and why he has this disconnect. I wake up every morning with two thoughts. How do I make my bosses more money? And two, how do I get some of it? If that isn't the most asinine thing I've ever heard, every Black man in the world, every Black woman in the world, even white people was, huh? White people don't even think like that. Asian people don't think like that. Hispanic people don't think like that. Only Sambos, house Negroes think like that. That's a house Negro mentality right there. And he never apologized for it. This finna get a little hard now. I was gonna do this on the Patreon, but might as well do it here. Stephen A. Look at me, Stephen A. Because I know you're watching. I know you're paying attention. I know they're going to send this to you. Let me tell you this right now. Congratulations. You have become your father. In this aspect, you've become your father. I knew some of his traits was going to come out in you. And they've been there. The same thing you hated about your father, look in the mirror. You're doing the same thing. He does what he want to do. He don't give a damn who don't like it or who he offends. And he never apologized. He never apologized for anything he done wrong. And as much as you hated that man, hated his guts for the majority part of his life, and you feel bad you didn't step up to mom, you lied to your mom first time ever. Lying to her was for a man you couldn't stand because you wanted him to be more of a father to you, and he was more of a father to his son he had out of wedlock. And he loved his oldest son that was named after him more than you. And the fact that he said you was worthless as a child, growing up, he just like, you're just worthless. Oh, there's a lot I know about Stephen A. Stephen A. has a white grandmother. We all know that. He knows that. His mother's mother is white, a white lady, married to a black man. You did not accept your stepbrother at all. Your stepbrother, you basically, even though it wasn't his fault, you just thought it was hurtful to your mother. So you chose to not even speak on him. Well, here's the nature of everything that's going on. See, you guys got to understand, I know someone that used to work at ESPN. ESPN is not this sacred place where everybody who works there is this multimillionaire individual. No, we know people that work in the boxing world that worked and got jobs at ESPN. Did you also know ESPN wanted to do a boxing show with me? Way before all of this, many years ago, when the internet wasn't even the internet, the YouTube wasn't even present. YouTube was barely even present. They were looking for guys who was discussing boxing to do like a test on a round table, and they had their own that they were paying for their own bandwidth. And they were going to have these little like 5-minute takes, fans talking about boxing. And they were watching like some of the videos early on in the process. Like we're talking like 2006, 2007. And they were talking about doing a show and was saying, hey, we want to look at you guys and saying we got all of these things going on here to look at. It's like, for real? Okay, well, let's see what this is. Oh, yes. The person that worked at ESPN used to work for Top Rank Boxing, and ended up taking a job with ESPN. He was offered a job. They had an opening for his position. He came in. We had another person that used to cover Boxito, a Hispanic guy. We ain't gonna say nobody's names. We don't want nobody being fingered out and trying to track them down and get them fired for stuff that they may have not have done. So now, this person who was a journalist over there ended up going over to ESPN. He was working as a columnist for a while for their Latino ESPN Deportes department. We had another guy who came from boxing who decided to apply for an ESPN internship. And he got it. He had to go and move and relocate it. And he was at Bristol, Connecticut, working out of there as an intern on an internship. So we having 3 individuals now. Now here's a main guy who was shooting video in Los Angeles. Had very good relationship with the LA Sparks. And actually, I'm part of the charity foundation that is also sponsored by the LA Sparks. And that led to him actually doing some, interaction with a couple of NBA players, to where he started putting up videos on his YouTube channel. And that turned into him actually working with the Los Angeles Lakers. Not working for the Lakers, just being allowed access. Now, this was all pre-COVID. After COVID, it became a little harder to have people around. So the information was tight, like a vice grip. But I was accurate on everything. All these rumblings, all the stuff that was happening, stuff that wasn't reported, stuff that he had to take out. He was sending all this video to me. All of it to me. And they ended up blowing up really big on YouTube. So congratulations to him for doing his thing. But we had these people working around in the industry, and these are just regular people. And they're individuals with jobs and taking care of their livelihood. And they see a lot, and they know more than these so-called big name people because they're around it. Like 24/7 around it. Now, when your homeboys was dissing you, bro, Stephen A, that is, why didn't you tell them the gist of what was really going on with you? Because this is normally Patreon stuff. So you finna get it right here too. I'm gonna put it on Patreon too, so the Patreons won't be out of it. But boom, what's going on here with you, Molly, and Jalen Rose? Let's get to that. Let's get to this. Because a year ago, when I was sitting here posting about this and telling the whole world this is all false, this is all fake, don't fall for it. There's no way Stephen A and Molly are dating. And y'all did this at the expense of Jalen Rose. Y'all didn't care about how this made Jalen feel. Molly wasn't responding. Stephen A wasn't responding. Jalen, who was going through a lot, who looked at Stephen A as a brother, Stephen A wasn't trying to help it out either. He was liking the press. Knowing that you got a wife and 2 daughters, Jalen Rose breaks his silence about the rumor. I did 125,000 views off that a year ago of me trying to inform the public what you couldn't do. Ain't no way Molly gonna be worried about your old ass and you huffing and puffing. What you gonna do for Molly? I'm like, how y'all fall for that? You think this dude in there? Yeah, I'm like, you saw that dude swinging at the pads. He just now starting to get into shape. He's starting working out right now. That's what he's starting to do. He just starting working out. He wasn't working out like that before. Just started that. Exactly. Why would she be interested in a guy that's gonna give her probably 3 pumps? Oh, you know it's coming. He giving you a pregame before the event. Oh, you know I'm gonna put it down. You know. Oh boy, I was feeling real good today. I was carrying my briefcase. Oh man, that thing felt like real light today. Yeah, I was walking up the stairs like this. I ran up. I even skipped a step one time. I was like, yeah. I'm about to tear it up tonight. He getting in there. Oh no, here come old big dog. Here we go. Okay, all right. Hold on. Wait, watch. That's my knee. Yeah, that's my bad knee. Hold on. Yeah, there you go. All right. Okay. All right, here I go. Yeah, I can sit up on top. Let me try to push myself up. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm in control now. Yeah, you ready? Because it's coming. Oh, I'm telling you, it's coming. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. She gonna be like, well, what you waiting on? Oh, it's coming. No, don't you do that to me. Oh, it's coming. I'm just building up to it. Here we go. Wham! Oh, I know you felt that. Yeah. That was a hell of a stroke, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Here I come again. Ooh, oh, yeah, that's 2. I'm surprised you still conscious. No. I bet you Jailer can't do that. Not like this. Oh, yeah. All right. Whew. That's 3 pumps. All right, you get on top. Oh, yeah, I'm going to sit here. You do your thing, girl. Get your workout on. Get your spin class going. What's she going to want with him? No, Ryan Clark don't want no Molly. What would he want with her Molly? See, that's what I'm saying. I've been on the ESPN set. I've actually seen Molly up close. And believe me when I tell you, she ain't all that at all. She's actually not cute. I'm like, she got like 10 pounds of makeup on her face. Jesus Christ. She's not cute at all. Like, oh, that's all the camera. Jesus. She does not look good, bro. I'm serious. If you get the camera on her up close, and you would like, I guarantee you're going to see what I see. Go see her in person. You're going to be, you, Molly? Oh, God. Seen chicks like you at the mall. Shoot, Jamel, that's all natural there. That is natural. That's some good old sauce there, boy. But now she got too much mouth. She be probably wanting to talk. I'd be like, Hell yeah, I would take Jamel Hill before I take Molly. You can have Molly. You can have those little Kardashian looking chicks. You can take that. Give me some Jamel Hill. I'm gonna be the king of the hill. Damn right, I'll take Jamel Hill over her any day of the week. Take it straight to Pound Town. Y'all can have them mollies. Y'all like these airbrush, these little fake chicks. I'm trying to tell you, these chicks are terrible. This is why they can't keep men. Molly is sick. Like, she's got illnesses. And see, y'all don't think about that. Y'all be thinking just sex. Y'all got to get in there. Y'all got to deal with her sickness. She's battling an illness that's like a blood disease and everything else. Y'all don't even know that. Y'all just jumping all in. Oh yeah, well, that's how it goes, you know. Jay Williams, there's a lot of other people that like people thought like, oh well, he's teasing it. Well, his contract is gonna be up. So Jay Williams might be moving to Fox, he might be going someplace else. But he's up for contract renegotiations and it don't look like they finna bring him back. Uh, no, it was a lot of different reasons things happened and transpired the way that they did. Uh, Jay Williams was too abrasive with Stephen A. Smith. He was making him also look like he wasn't the black man. As I often said to Stephen A. Smith, give me an example of you sticking up for the black man. You didn't stick up for Michael Irvin. Mm-mm. Whenever I went to a fight, I always normally was in a suit. So I never had a problem there. The nature of the things that I do is a formerly, what I would call it, a breakdown of the minds. You know, it's like you meet people and you see they're a certain way. And then you run into other people and they don't fit. Well, it's funny because I remember 4 years ago, D'Angelo Russell eliminated the Los Angeles Lakers when they was with the Brooklyn Nets. They officially eliminated the Lakers from playoff competition, even though the Lakers weren't going nowhere anyway. It was a bad time for the Lakers. And he screamed karma when he was gone. And they never forgot that, and they went back and got him. That was 4 years ago. No, Molly looked like the Wicked Witch of the West. And you see her. I swear. That's how terrible she looked up close. Y'all can have that chick. You can have her. She looking like, and I'll get your little dog too. Good. If you think that look good, then that's you knock yourself out. You go right on ahead. That little hook nose. She just missing the hat. She look hotter than Jamel Hill. Buddy, you ain't seen Jamel Hill. I don't know what y'all talking about. Jamel Hill in a bathing suit? I would take her any day of the week. You can have Molly. You can have Malika Andrews. You can take all them witch-looking women. Oh, we can get all that fixed. Look at old Jamel Hill. Look at them legs. Ooh, wait. Ooh, wait. Stacked. Well, she is stacked in prime rib, ready to go. Y'all could have that Molly. That would be an even trade. It'd be Carcino is traded Molly Karam and Malika Andrews. She was voided the trade swap for Jamel Hill. I'll take Jamel Hill over them any day of the week. Now, we're going to have to fix that mouth. I'm going to fix all that. I was thinking we should do that. Shut up. Cook something. You ain't cooked nothing all day. Get in there and cook some eggs. Cook me a steak. I was just saying, shut up. Doing too much talking. I don't smell nothing cooking. You want to talk to me, you better have something frying. Yeah, we gonna fix all that mouth. We're going to get Jamel Hill fixed. We'll fix that right. Make her do the laundry. Shoot, I just had a doggone European chick in here today cleaning my house, volunteering to do my laundry. Volunteering to do my laundry. She said, "You want me to do your laundry for you? I'll do it." I'm like, well, I've already done most of it, but if you want to finish the last batch, by all means. I'm like, now why we can't get this dedication out of our own people? It's time to get with it. Oh, I can't fix hand. All you need is hand sanitizer. You all good. You got some hand sanitizer. That's all you need. And you got her fixed. But all right, we way off point now. Shouts out to everybody here. Hopefully y'all all enjoyed the Patreon by now. But this is like what we do on the Patreon. So if you're not on there, I feel bad for you. But anyway, I'm out. Deuces.